Welcome to FlyEaglesFly News, where Eagles fans get the latest, fastest, and hottest updates. Hit subscribe and fly high with us. The NFL world is buzzing right now, and honestly, this one feels like a true earthquake shaking up the league. Imagine this. MICAH Parsons, one of the most explosive defensive forces in the game, reportedly being on the radar of none other than the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, the same Eagles who already have one of the nastiest defensive fronts in football. If this rumor turns out to be true, we're not just talking about a move. We're talking about a shift in power across the NFC. Parsons, currently with the Green Bay Packers, has been their defensive identity since day one. His energy, his speed, his ability to terrorize quarterbacks, it's what keeps offensive coordinators up at night. But sources close to the situation are hinting that things behind the scenes in Green Bay aren't as smooth as they look on camera. There are whispers of frustration, of creative differences, and possibly even contract tensions that have quietly started to boil over. When you combine all that with the Eagles' constant hunger to dominate the trenches, it's not hard to see how these two paths could suddenly cross. Now, if you've followed MICAH Parsons' career, you know the guy doesn't do average. He's not someone who just fills a role. He redefines it. In Green Bay, Parsons has been the heart of their defensive scheme, but there's been talk that he wants a bigger stage, a louder spotlight, and maybe even a new challenge. Philadelphia could be that next chapter. It's a city that thrives on passion, on grit, on defense that punches you right in the mouth. It's the kind of place that worships a player like Parsons. People around the league have been saying that if there's one team bold enough to go all in for a talent like him, it's the Eagles. They've never been shy about making moves that shock everyone. And if this one actually happens, it might be the biggest shock since the A.J. Brown trade. Imagine him lining up beside Haason Reddick, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter. That's chaos waiting to happen, and Philly fans would absolutely lose their minds. But here's where things start to get really interesting. According to a few insiders, talks between the Packers and Parsons representatives have stalled multiple times over the last few weeks. Nobody's going on record, of course, but the word floating around is that the team and player aren't exactly on the same page about long-term direction. Parsons wants to win now. He's not interested in a rebuild, not interested in waiting for a rookie quarterback to develop or for the front office to get things right. Meanwhile, the Eagles are sitting there, looking at their roster, realizing they're just one elite piece away from becoming unstoppable again. How do you not pick up the phone? It's the kind of aggressive thinking that's made Howie Roseman one of the smartest GMs in the league. If these rumors hold any truth, you can bet the calls have already been made. And the money side? Oh, that's another storm entirely. Parsons isn't cheap, not even close. He's set to command one of the richest contracts ever given to a defensive player, and for good reason. We're talking about a generational talent who can single-handedly change games. The Eagles have some cap maneuvering to do, but they've done it before. Remember how everyone thought they were out of space before landing big names in past seasons? Somehow, Roseman finds a way. But to make this happen, it might mean sending serious assets back to Green Bay. Draft picks, players, maybe even a young defensive star. The price tag will be huge, but that's what it takes to land a player like Parsons. This isn't about small moves anymore. It's about sending a message to the entire NFL. Fans are already lighting up social media. X, formerly Twitter, is flooded with mock trades, jersey swaps, and wild reactions. You've got Packers fans begging the front office to fix it before it's too late, while Eagles fans are practically manifesting it into reality. Some say it's all smoke. Others swear it's more than that. What's certain is that there's too much noise for it to be nothing. When rumors like this reach this volume, there's usually some kind of truth buried underneath. People close to Parsons have dropped cryptic messages online, subtle likes, mysterious emojis, those no comment, interviews that say everything without saying anything. You know the type. It feels like something's brewing, and no one's sure how big the explosion's gonna be. The NFC landscape could be flipped upside down if this happens. Think about it. The Eagles, already a powerhouse, adding the most dominant defensive weapon since Lawrence Taylor? It's wild. The Cowboys, 49ers, and Lions would have nightmares trying to game plan against that front. And for the Packers, losing Parsons would be devastating, not just on the field, but for their entire identity. He's their face, their spark, their heart. If he goes, they'd be forced into a massive rebuild, whether they like it or not. So, as the days go by, all eyes are on both organizations. Everyone's waiting for that first leak, that insider confirmation, that moment when rumor becomes reality. Until then, the NFL world is holding its breath, wondering if we're about to witness the trade of the decade. Now here's where the story gets even more intense. Reports are surfacing that Micah Parsons has quietly unfollowed several Packers-related accounts on social media, including the official team page. Now, look, we've all seen players do this before, sometimes just to stir up drama or send a subtle message. But in this context, it's adding fuel to a fire that's already burning hot. People close to the situation claim that Parsons has been feeling underappreciated by the front office, especially after some recent locker room tensions. The Eagles, on the other hand, have been described as monitoring closely, ready to strike if the opportunity becomes real. It's classic Philadelphia, always ready to pounce when a superstar feels unsettled. And make no mistake, Parsons isn't just any player. He's a franchise changer, the kind of guy who shifts momentum the moment he steps on the field. If he's unhappy in Green Bay, there will be a line of teams calling. But something about this Eagles buzz feels a little too specific, a little too calculated to be random gossip. The Packers have been trying to keep things calm publicly. Their head coach keeps repeating the same line about focusing on football and blocking out distractions, but everyone can tell the tension's real. It's the kind of situation that usually ends one of two ways: a monster contract extension or a blockbuster trade. And given the way things are playing out, the second option is starting to sound more likely. Green Bay's front office has never been afraid to make tough calls, but moving Parsons would be a gamble of epic proportions. The fan base would riot. It would signal that the franchise might be heading in a different direction, one focused on the future rather than the now. Meanwhile, in Philly, you can practically feel the anticipation. Every Eagles fan, every podcast, every sports bar conversation is filled with one question. What if? What if Parsons really becomes an Eagle? What if that defense becomes the most feared in the league again? And let's be honest, the football fit makes way too much sense. The Eagles have a defensive system built around speed, aggression, and chaos, three words that might as well describe Parsons' DNA. His ability to play both linebacker and edge rusher would give the team endless flexibility. Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, would have a field day designing schemes around him. You could line him up inside, outside, drop him into coverage, send him on delayed blitzes. It's the kind of chess piece every defensive coach dreams of. And Philly fans, they live for this kind of player. Tough, relentless, fearless. Parsons embodies everything that city loves about football. He plays angry, he plays smart, and he never takes a snap off. It's not just a match, it's destiny waiting to be confirmed. Financially, though, it's a tightrope walk. Parsons will demand a contract north of $30 million per year, easily putting him among the highest-paid defenders in NFL history. The Eagles have structured their roster well, but big moves like this always come with sacrifices. A veteran or two might need to be cut, some draft capital would definitely be on the table, and maybe even a young rising star would be part of the deal. Still, if there's a team that can pull this off, it's Philadelphia. They've done it before, and they'll do it again. You don't build a Super Bowl-caliber roster by playing it safe. You do it by taking big swings, and landing Micah Parsons would be the biggest swing possible. And for the Packers, well, it might be time to face reality. If your superstar doesn't want to stay, you cash in while his value is sky high. What's really crazy is how this story has captured the imagination of the entire NFL community. Players from other teams are chiming in, former legends are dropping hints, and analysts are dissecting every little detail like detectives. One well-known insider even mentioned that talks have occurred in principle, though no official confirmation has followed. You know how these things go: denials, vague statements, and then suddenly, a bombshell drops. It's the calm before the storm, and you can feel the pressure building. The Eagles are reportedly in win-now mode, which means this could be their moment to go all in. They've come close to another Lombardi trophy, and Parsons might just be that missing piece. He's the type of player that turns a great defense into an all-time one. And if the deal happens, it could define the next 5 years of NFL history. Until something official comes out, all we have are the whispers, but sometimes, whispers tell the truth before anyone else does. Every detail, every cryptic post, Every suspicious move online feels like another breadcrumb leading us to something big. The Packers can keep denying, and the Eagles can keep saying no comment. But fans know how this game works. When there's this much smoke, there's almost always fire. Maybe it's not finalized yet. Maybe negotiations are still quiet. But something's happening. Something real. If Micah Parsons ends up wearing midnight green, it won't just be another off-season storyline. It'll be a full-blown revolution. The league would never look the same again, and every quarterback in the NFC would be on high alert. Brace yourselves, because if this rumor becomes reality, it's not just breaking news. It's breaking the entire market. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments, and let's talk birds. If this deal actually goes through, it could be the single most defining moment of this NFL era. A move that shifts power, style, and identity all in one swoop. Think about the ripple effect. The Cowboys, Parsons' old rivals, would be watching in disbelief as their division foe adds the very kind of player they once dreamed of drafting. The 49ers, who have been the measuring stick for NFC defenses, would suddenly have serious competition for that top spot. And the Packers? They'd be forced into an identity crisis, scrambling to rebuild a defense that was built entirely around one generational star. Fans in Wisconsin might call it betrayal, but in truth, it would just be business. Brutal, cold, NFL business. Yet even in that reality, you can't help but feel that this would be Parsons' way of rewriting his legacy, proving he's not just a talent, but a movement. The NFL thrives on shockwaves, and this would be a tsunami. Behind the scenes, agents, executives, and media insiders are reportedly playing a delicate game of silence. Nobody wants to confirm too much, but everyone's talking. It's one of those rare moments when even rival front offices are keeping tabs, waiting to see if they need to adjust their own plans. The Eagles brass, from ownership down to the coaching staff, knows how monumental this could be. Their fan base, famous for its intensity, would explode with energy. You can already picture Lincoln Financial Field erupting the first time Parsons sacks a quarterback in that midnight green jersey. It's the type of move that sells jerseys, headlines, and dreams. And for Parsons himself, it might be the perfect storm: a hungry city, a dominant roster, and a chance to silence anyone who's ever questioned his loyalty, leadership, or fire. Sometimes, the stars just align in football, and right now, the universe seems to be pointing him straight toward Philadelphia. Still, as much as fans want this to happen, the NFL is unpredictable. Negotiations can fall apart in minutes, egos can clash, and one leaked detail can blow up an entire deal. But even if it never becomes official, this rumor has already done its job. It's reminded everyone how powerful Parsons is, how dangerous the Eagles can be, and how alive the NFL rumor mill really is. Every season needs its big what if, and this one might be it. Whether it ends in a blockbuster trade or just another chapter in the league's endless drama, one thing's for sure. The thought of Micah Parsons in Philly has already changed the way fans see both teams. It's the kind of buzz that keeps everyone glued to their screens, refreshing, waiting, hoping. Because deep down, we all love a little chaos. And this could be the beautiful chaos that defines the entire season. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.